What's up guys, this is Yasser. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Yasser's Fit Frag, and today I'm going to talk about another series of Ajmal Attars. So I have 4 Attars in total today. So if you haven't watched my previous series of Ajmal Attars, you can watch those from the video description area, because I would be giving those links in the video description area. You can check them out because I would not be repeating any of the Attars in any of the series. Now coming in at number 4 is actually a sample which I received. This is a 1/4 ml sample. They just gave it as complimentary because I bought many Attars in bulk. So that is Colaba. The full name is Mukhallat Colaba. So this is how the actual packaging comes. It's a 14 ml bottle which costs about 1,400 as a retail price, but if you get it on a discount, you would get it for around 1,100, I guess. Now the top notes in this are oud and a hint of saffron, but that oud and saffron vanishes in 30 minutes and then it turns into a soapy kind of smell. Probably in the mid there is iris, lavender and some soapy kind of feel. But to be honest, I did not like the overall blending of this one because of that soapy feel. So to put it in simple, this is more of an oud attar with some soapy touch. So honestly, I did not like this blending. You can probably check this out in one of these cotton samples which they give. They would actually apply it on a cotton and then give it in a plastic cover so that you can test it at home, because your nose might get confused when you smell multiple attars in the store. So you can actually test this out before blind buying this in the store, because from my personal taste, I did not really like the blending on this one. And for the price tag of 1,400, I did not really find this worth. So I would rate this a 7 on 10 from my personal perspective. But otherwise, if you like oud based attars with that soapy touch, then you might possibly like this one. So it's not necessary that everybody has to dislike it just because I personally don't like it. Now coming in at number 3 is Royal Oud Kuwaiti. So this also comes in a protective wooden box. Now this is more of a masculine kind of oud. So you need to definitely have the taste towards oud, otherwise it is not meant for everybody. But again, the oud is not too harsh, it's not so animalic. But you shouldn't be judging this in the first sniff because it opens up with that dark black oud kind of smell. So you definitely need to give it that 1 to 2 hours for it to settle down. After that, it actually turns into a beautiful scent. So this costs about 325 for a 5 ml. And if there is a discount running in, you would actually get it for slightly lesser than this. So the top notes are black oud, there is a hint of eucalyptus, I guess, and also cumin on top. In the mid there is a very prominent amber note, and the amber is just like amber incense from Inspired Aroma. It smells of similar quality to me. And in the base you get cashmere wood, cedar wood, guaiac wood and some musky note. So that's the overall blending of this particular scent. The name is Oud Kuwaiti. You need to have that taste towards oud and only then you would like this. So test this out in a cotton which they give in case you're interested in understanding how it develops over time. When I tested this, the first sniff was a little strong oud because it has black oud, and when I asked my colleague to smell it, she also said she did not like the opening because I just applied a little bit on her forearm and she did not like the opening. But after she reached home, which was about 2 hours, then she said she actually liked this one and she would rate this a 9. And I was a little surprised because for me this is an 8 on 10 from my personal taste, but she rated this a 9 after 2 hours because she did not like the opening. So like I said, do not judge by the opening, give it some time to settle down, because that's when the actual beauty of this particular attar comes into play. So to put it in simple, this is a masculine type of oud with a musky and woody dry down. So in case you have taste towards oud, I'm sure you would like this one. So coming to the performance, I easily get about 2 to 3 hours of projection for about 2 feet if you're indoors, and it gave me a lasting about 12 to 15 hours. Again, after 8 hours, it's just the base note that plays the role. But on my clothes, I could still smell it even after 2 days. So that's the actual lasting on clothes. But on my skin, it was about 15 hours, which is definitely great for the price that it sells. I also got 2 compliments when I wore this to office. One was from a guy, another was from a woman. So I think both men and women like this. It's just that it has to settle down for at least 1 to 2 hours to actually create that crowd appealing feel. So do not judge by the opening again. So that was Oud Kuwaiti at number 3. So now coming in at number 2 is, now this is a 12 ml attar which comes in a beautiful packaging again. And it is a little expensive because it costs about 1,250 in the retail stores when there is no discount. But in case you get it on a discount, then it costs about 1000, because I got it for 1000 because there was 20% flat discount running in at the stores, and I got it for 1000. For me, it looks like a great deal, because again, this is not one of the common scents that you get, not one of the common blends, because the opening is mild oud with saffron and cumin. The cumin is very prominent in the opening, so do not judge by the first sniff again, because that cumin note can give you that punchy feel. It is very prominent in the opening, but the saffron is very mild. The oud is also very mild. So it's the cumin note that gives the kick or the punch in the first sniff. So some people might find it a little too pungent, because when I directly asked 2 or 3 of my colleagues to sniff it, they said it's a little too strong, but I told them to apply it and let it settle for 15 minutes, because within 15 minutes that cumin note settles down and it becomes a beautiful scent after that, and they actually liked it after 15 minutes. So don't judge by the opening. Like I said, give it 15 minutes and then decide whether you like it or not. I love that cumin note to settle down, because it takes about 15 minutes to go into that smooth mode of the top note. So in the mid you would get a little bit of vetiver, white musk and some woody notes. So coming to the performance, I easily get about 2 hours of projection for about 2 feet, but the lasting is only about 6 hours prominent, because after 6 hours it still came up to 9 hours, but it is very mild after 6 hours. Considering all the other Ajmal Attars that I have spoken about, this one seems to be a little weak, but talking about smell quality, this is definitely good. Definitely not one of the common blendings that you see. So 6 hours you can easily sense it, or at least I could easily sense it, but if you experience an olfactory fatigue, maybe you might not sense it after 4 hours. But when I did the actual testing at home without wearing it on myself, I got it about 9 hours, but again after 6 hours it is super mild and it is not very prominent. And after 6 hours it is only the base note of white musk and woody that plays the role. You cannot really sense that it is this particular attar that you're wearing after 6 hours. So I would say that the overall lasting which you can sense is about 6 hours. So considering the price tag, this might look not up to the mark kind when it comes to performance. But again, performance is second priority for me always. I always go with the smell quality as the first priority, because you can always reapply, guys. You can even carry it in your bag or in your pocket and reapply after 5 hours if you wish to. So that was Asher by Ajmal. Beautiful bottle again, and a beautiful scent as well. So coming in at number 1 is Attar Salama. So this also comes in a protective wooden box. And the best part is this is the cheapest among all. This costs about 200 for a 5 ml, but I got it for 160 for 5 ml because there was flat 20% discount running in at stores. And for this price tag, I have to say that this is highly recommended in today's list, considering the price tag. That's the reason I'm placing this at number 1 in today's list, because 160 for 5 ml, if there is 20% discount running in at store, this is a great deal, guys. The reason is it is very close to Paco Rabanne Invictus. If you smell this one and if you like Paco Rabanne Invictus, this is definitely something that you are going to like. So do not miss it if you're a fan of Paco Rabanne Invictus. So the top notes in this are orange, there is red apple and aquatic notes. In the mid you get bay leaf and a hint of jasmine, and in the base you would get guaiac wood and musk. So it's a beautiful blending again, very close to Paco Rabanne Invictus, and for this price tag I have to rate this an 8 on 10 easily, because if you get it for a discount and if you pay 160 for 5 ml, there is nothing as good as this one if you like Paco Rabanne Invictus. So coming to the performance, it easily projects about 2 to 3 hours for about 2 feet, and it lasted about 9 to 10 hours on my skin. Again, after 6 hours, it's just the base note that plays the role, but again, for the price, there's nothing to complain. 9 to 10 hours is actually a great performance, even if it is just the base note that plays the role after 6 hours, because that's the usual character of most of the scents that you get. So this is a great deal for the price. To put it in simple, if you like Paco Rabanne Invictus, I would highly recommend this one. But if you ask my personal taste, I like Asher because it's not one of the common blends that you get in Attars. This is obviously common, but for the price tag, you might find it not worth if you are looking for performance. But for me, like I said, the scent character, the blending is what my first priority is. So even if it is $1,000 for 12 ml, I would still give this an 8.5 if it had a little better performance, but otherwise I would still give this an 8 on 10 in my personal opinion if I have to rate it personally. So Attar Salama was at number 1 in this list considering the price tag. So let me know in case you have tried any of these. Comment down in the comment section about your thoughts about these. See you next time in another video. Cheers.